Welcome, folks. We got a couple new people, and I hope you had a chance to watch the video from yesterday. If not, go ahead and do that later on. And welcome. So what we're gonna do to start with, those of you who were here yesterday know that we started out with just sort of just shaking out anything that you don't need. It's all different times of day for people. I mean, it's like 6 o'clock for Jasmine, and it's 11 o'clock here, and I don't know where all you guys are. Yeah, go ahead, and if you like the shaking thing, do the shaking thing. If you need some energy, just you can tap on these uh, pressure points right here. But what I'm going to invite you to do new today is this is an exercise. You can't really see me, can you? This is an exercise called connecting heaven and earth. And you can just do that, and it not only helps your spine, helps your physical body, but energetically it is opening up the chakras. Go ahead and put your name in the chat so that I'll know that you're here. And welcome to the new people. If you jump into the Facebook group, you'll be able to watch the video of yesterday. And there's two videos in there. There's the actual one that we streamed, but there's also a version which I edited and just put up there this morning, which is a little bit shorter. Those of you who were here yesterday know that your home play, your assignment, was to wander around in your home and look for treasures, look for things that you really love. Those of you who are new didn't get a chance to do that, but you can go ahead and think about that, and feel free to share. So a couple people sent things in put things in the Facebook group in the thread, and it was interesting because almost all of them were, very visual things, and some of them were things that reminded people of their heritage or their past. So the reason I'm inviting you to get in touch with what you treasure in your home is I think that's just a much gentler way and uplifting way to enter into your stuff, to thinking about your stuff. And then you look at the rest of it and you go, okay, well, if that's not a treasure, then why am I holding on to it? And that doesn't mean you don't have things in your home that aren't everything is not a treasure. But there are things that you use regularly that are useful. And those are some of the criteria that we also use to make decisions about things. So I did want to talk a little bit about the prizes, share a little bit about the decluttering day, which will happen on Friday. Just, so you'll know a little bit more about them. And so the people who weren't here yesterday will know what the heck I'm talking about. So I'm still sussing out all the prizes, but I know that some of them will be access to my paid decluttering days, which are small group experiences. I imagine that we'll have a lot of people on Friday, so we'll probably be using breakout groups. So that'll be interesting. So, I'll be sharing. I'll pin down the prizes and let you know tomorrow. But the prizes are basically mostly for participation. So if you show up live, if you watch the replays, if you share your treasures in the Facebook group, if you comment on other people's posts and support them in the group. I just want to have an active and engaged community while we're going through this and beyond. I mean, that's what the Facebook group is all about. The decluttering day, which I'm going to offer those of you who are studying with me or participating with me this week, I'm going to offer you a free decluttering day. So what the heck is that? Well, what we do is we come on Zoom, and we'll be doing it Friday at this same time. So that's 11 Mountain Time, and you do the conversions if you're somewhere else. And then at 1 Mountain Time, we'll come back on again. And what you'll be doing in between is decluttering in your own space. And I'll share with you how to how to pick, today I'm going to share some about how to pick what projects to work on. And so you come on, you share with the group, which you'll probably be in breakout groups, sharing with a small group what you intend to work on that day. And then you have 4 hours to work on your own. If you don't have the whole time, that's fine. People have made amazing progress, seriously, in as little as 15 minutes. But if you can give yourself an hour or two, then you'll make amazing progress. And just knowing that other people are doing it with you really, really helps, and that you're going to get a chance to report in and have some accountability later on in the day. Um, so that's what a decluttering day is. And I'm going to be offering those as standalone products until the end of March. And then after that, they'll only be available in my group courses, which is where they started out. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and post them in the Facebook group or send me an email. And I know that everybody's not going to be available. I know that some people will be working, and that's okay. If you want to take advantage of the energy and post your intentions and your successes in the Facebook group, feel free to do that. I'd love for you to share your treasures. I'd love for you to put it in the chat. If you did the exercise last night, what did you find that you considered to be treasures? And also, if um, if you would like to share, I'm going to give just one or two people a chance to share, verbally. So just raise your hand like this if you would like to share a treasure that you discovered in your home. I'll just invite you then to check in the Facebook group and see the treasures that other people shared, and think about it for yourself as you go through your home, after we finish up today. But if you look at parts of your home and you just feel exhausted and you don't know where to start, then I want you to know that you're not alone. We live in such a consumer society, and some of us have parents or grandparents who grew up during the Depression, and so we don't want to waste anything. And then some people hold on to things because they don't know how to recycle it properly. So what I want to ask you, and I'm going to invite you to share in the chat, is why do you think you have hold on to things? Why do you think that you have clutter? And I'm guessing that you do think you have clutter, or you wouldn't have taken time out of your day to be here with me. But I invite you to share because it'll help other people. Why do you think you have clutter? I've got sentimental, which is very common. Also, people report that they don't have time. They don't feel like they have time. But people are saying that they grew up that way. Yes, holding on to things that represent past experiences. Yeah, inherited, lot of inherited things. Ah, somebody was audited, and yeah, I can see why that would make you afraid to throw away any papers. Yeah, I totally get that. Yes, Roxanne says how to honor the person who once owned it. Yeah, great, great. Well, that's great. Keep sharing. There are ways to make decluttering and organizing easier and even more fun. But the first thing that you need to do if you're going to be successful, and if you're going towards fun, which you may at this point be like, fun, forget about it. But I will tell you that some of the people in my group courses who hated decluttering are now telling me that they're almost addicted to decluttering. And I'm not making this up. As you go through the things in your home, I want you to notice how you speak to yourself. And I encourage you to journal about that. You don't have to have a fancy journal. I'll put a thread in the Facebook group that people can share if they want to. But often, my students and people that I work with individually share with me that childhood experiences have influenced their relationship to the things in their homes. Sometimes people had messy parents, so they never learned how to declutter and organize. They never learned how to get rid of anything. Other people had parents who were so strict and so hard on them about keeping everything tidy. I had one client whose mom wouldn't even let the kids hang things on the tree, on the Christmas tree, because the tree had to be perfect. So that those kinds of experiences do influence the way that you feel about stuff in your life. Sometimes you're rebelling and you're saying, well, I don't have to clean up my room anymore. But if that's the way you feel, then recognize that feeling that way, there is no one else now. There is no one else telling you to tidy up unless you have someone in your household, but that's a whole nother conversation. So what you are living with is for you. You want to create a life and a home that you love. And the best way to do that, I think, is to get in touch with what you value, and with your vision, which we did a little bit of yesterday, getting in touch with the vision. So the two V's, values and vision. And I want to invite you to reflect for just a minute now, and then continue to reflect on this, after we're done today. What do you value? What is important to you? And I mean, I'm not talking now about stuff. We already talked about, your important treasures, but I'm talking about, what do you value in life? Do you value friendships, family, knowledge? I'm going to pop that in the chat. What do you value? And you might wonder, well, why am I talking about that? What does that have to do with our stuff? Well, a lot of times we hold on to things because of our values. So think about what you value, think about the stuff in your home, and think about whether there is a harmony there or a mismatch. People are saying friends, family, adventure, happy times, relationships. So, what does your stuff have to do with any of those things? And as you go through the things in your life now, I invite you to hold them up and see what value do they align with. Is this supporting those values that I have? One of the values that I have is protecting our planet, protecting our environment. And so I try to be very mindful of that when I am consuming. And I've worked with a lot of people who are holding on to things because they don't know how to recycle or get rid of it. And so I want to share something with you, which is not necessarily a happy thing, but I worked with another woman, another organizer who was very big on zero waste. And we were working together in a client's home. And she said something that really just blew my mind. And that is that you holding on to that tissue paper or whatever you're holding on to, you're holding on to it does not keep it out of the landfill. It is eventually going to end up either recycled or in the landfill, no matter what you do, no matter how long you hold on to it. So the question to ask yourself is, am I willing to give up this space in my life and in my home in order to, be a steward of this when I am not able to use it? So, we can definitely make different choices about consumerism and what we bring into our homes. Those are really important. But notice just over the next day, how does what you value influence what you have in your home? And know that if you don't bring it in, you don't have to declutter or store it. And I want to encourage you to keep it simple and avoid perfectionism. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. As you work in your home, don't let things collect because you're trying to find the perfect way to store them. Just do your best and make it better. And as you choose projects to work on in your home, I want you to choose something that's really small, maybe a drawer or a surface. And also begin with something that's really easy. You might begin with something that's been hanging around for a long time that you're probably not going to need. If it's been sitting in a box for 8 years, it's probably going to be easier than memories, for example. Memories, wait until you've built some decluttering muscles before you get into that. And people often wonder where to start. In addition to starting small and starting with something easy, start where you spend the most time. Okay. So we are pretty much at, we've gone to the amount of time that I said we would do. So I'm going to encourage you to think about those ideas, and I will put, we're already streaming into the Facebook group, and if I feel a need to edit it and put up another version later, I will. But I encourage you to be active in the Facebook group, share your treasures, share any challenges that you have. And if you tag me, then I'll know that you've asked a question. So boy, does 20 minutes go really, really fast. I'm just gonna, I've had it on speaker view, but I am just gonna look at you guys for a little bit and say goodbye and good work. And remember, this is only day 2. So if you feel like you're not getting everything that you wanted to get, we're going to be continuing. Hi, yep. Show me your face and your sparkle fingers if you feel like you're getting something out of this. I will see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you an example of how to break down, what might seem like an overwhelming task into individual tasks that you can tackle one by one. Does that sound good? All right, that's what we'll do tomorrow. And then Friday will be our decluttering day. Yay. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Participate in the Facebook group.